Hello, welcome to Today in Quarantine. I'm your host, Renee Cross, coming to you live from Lincoln, Nebraska. That's right, the home of the free, the land of the brave, is what they call it. Today is Sunday, May 24th, 2020, and it is episode 66. We've done this six times 11. There's your math fact for the day. So if you missed yesterday, if you're on YouTube, you may have missed yesterday's live stream because somehow my plan for live streaming on the go did not work out. But I'm okay. Yesterday's live stream actually featured the drive-in service at College View Church, which if you missed, you can go to their Facebook page and rewatch their live stream of the service. It was pretty cool. Um, it was definitely interesting to see how it all functioned, and basically you just had people drive into a parking lot and somehow they got the uh, audio to stream through to the radio, and so you could hear everything that was going on the radio, and it was super clear quality. I was highly impressed with that. I was figuring that they were going to have like some speakers set up outside the church, but the radio worked really well. It's kind of like a drive-in theater. So that was pretty cool. Um, Speaking of drive-in theaters, I think that's something that should make a comeback this quarantine season because drive-in theaters, like that's the coolest idea ever. I don't know why people stop doing drive-in theaters because who wants to get out of your car and pay for a movie? There was a drive-in theater near where I grew up, and we never went there, but it was always super cool to drive by and see it. And a lot of people think that they're just like one-time events, or like summertime events. But you could go to a drive-in theater during the winter. And you just like snuggle up in your car. That'd be pretty much it. But yeah. Anyway, so that was yesterday. Yesterday was a beautiful day, by the way. The weather was about 80 degrees. I ended up going on a bike ride to a trail that I hadn't been on here yet in town, and it was just an awesome day. Sunny, slightly humid, just the way Nebraska likes it. Is really nice to just kind of get out there and go. Um, and yeah, let's see. Charmaine says never been to a drive-in theater. Someone take me there. Thanks. I would love to take you there, except I don't know where one is. So we'll have to wait on that. But it's really the coolest things, just as what I from what I've seen in like movies and stuff. It's pretty cool. Um, but yeah. So to yesterday, so yeah, like I said yesterday, I went on a bike ride and stuff. Church, you know, no, that's pretty much it. It's honestly, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, man, like this is Memorial Day weekend, and I'm like, what do I do? Apparently, um, this is just another, it's a weekend, and it's a long weekend. Yay! It's just more time to spend in the house. But I was actually reading through an article by NPR from NPR, and the article was saying that if you there it was kind of like listing activities and like how dangerous they are in the time of COVID-19 or how much risk there is. Um, yeah, it was like, oh, you could go to the beach and you go to the pool because COVID can't get through water. But you just have to stay 6 feet apart from people while you're in the water because they can still sneeze on you. But the water itself can't transmit it. So you're like, okay. Or you could go camping, which is great. But if you're camping close to other people, you got to be careful. Um, they said that the one thing that they did say was that using public bathrooms is not any more dangerous now than it was before because public bathrooms, I mean, they're fairly sanitary, and if you weren't scared to use one before, you're probably going to be fine now because you probably haven't caught hepatitis B from sitting on a toilet in a public bathroom, so you'll probably be good. Andrew says productive Sunday. Well, I guess you aren't working anymore, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure out some projects that I'm going to be doing. Um, like I said on Friday, I bought some music, so I'm gonna start working on that eventually. But yeah, I've just kind of been lazy and around. Well, today actually I went to the farmers market and got a breakfast burrito, so that was pretty nice. And later today, I have some friends that I worked with this year who are doing a like a brass quartet in the park or quintet in the park, and so um, they'll be doing that at 7. So I'm gonna ride over there. It should be pretty fun. Should be pretty all right. One of the things interesting weather wise is that on Friday, I got one of those alerts that there was a tornado warning, but I didn't see the word warning because I always get confused between the words warning and watch. So if you don't know, a warning is when, or no, a watch is when there's a tornado in the area and you should be careful and just be aware that there's a tornado in the area, but it's probably not going to land. And a watch or a warning is, hey, there's a tornado. It's probably going to hit. Take shelter now. I may have gotten those two confused. I've only been living here for 6 years, but there was some sort of tornado something, but I kind of ignored it. But it was just giant thunderstorm. It was fantastic. I had to run down to Walgreens to get some soap. It was great. And oh, okay. Andrew says there. A watch is when there is weather that can produce a tornado. Okay, so a watch is when there's weather. It's then when weather that can produce one. Andrew says a warning is when there's an actual tornado spotted on the ground. Okay, so I think it was a watch. Um, my friend texted me and said, "Oh, there's a watch," but my phone got an alert said it was a warning. Either way, I didn't pay attention to it. Yeah, so that was it was really cool because just there was just water everywhere. I think it was like 4.5 inches of rain that we got on Friday night, so that was pretty cool. Nice big thunderstorms, good stuff, good stuff. Charmaine asked about my glasses, so I made an investment last week and got some glasses. I mean, it actually wasn't. They were like pretty cheap. I got two pairs for like $15, and they're um, blue light glasses. So reducing the strain of computer screen and your phone screen on your eyes. Let's do a lot of that. So it doesn't actually magnify anything else. It's just one more thing to put on my face. Anyway, so some great weather things. And then it was sunny yesterday, and then again today there's supposed to be thunderstorms. Haven't heard any yet, but it's kind of been threatening all day, which is lovely. But the weather's been nice and warm. Love weather like that. It's just such a good thing. One thing that I think I've been thinking about is choices. I'm playing this game where um, it's kind of like I don't know if anybody ever read anybody ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I didn't really like them when I was a kid, but I read a couple of them, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So basically, in the Choose Your Own Adventure books, there was this story, and you start on the story. At the end of the chapter, you would say, so it's like in first person, and you'd read it, and at the end of the chapter, it'd be like, oh, go down the scary tunnel, or go down the lit tunnel, or something like that. And then you would have to pick which one. And so based on which one you pick, it'd be like turn to page 43 or turn to page 18. And then like it just kept on weaving in and out. So there's all these choices that you could make. And the game that I'm playing is very similar to that as well. And you can make all these choices. My friend and I are both playing the game, but uh, and we're making actually I think very similar choices, and he thinks that it doesn't really affect the game that much. And for some of the things, it doesn't really affect the game, but for some it does. And so it's like, I wonder, like if and the game creators have to be pretty creative about it. And some of the choices you really don't know about until way later in the game, or so I discovered. Um, but it's pretty intense. I like that choice aspect of it a lot. Um, Okay. Andrew says didn't notice the two glasses. It's good. It's subtle. Jermaine says they fit very nicely over your actual glasses. Yeah, I was analyzing it for a good 2 minutes, so I don't really know what she's talking about 3 times. Something about tornadoes. Yes, I was talking about tornadoes. Go watch the replay after this to see what, yeah, to see what I was talking about. All right, so moving on to today's dad jokes. Yesterday, I missed the dad jokes section because I was at the drive-in, and so, which, by the way, the funny thing about all of this is that drive-in has a completely different meaning, or drive-by. Drive-by has a completely different meaning than it did like 3 months ago. If somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I was in a drive-by," like you're imagining that they're driving up and like shooting people and whatever. Now somebody's like, "Oh, it's a drive-by," and you're like, "Oh, whose birthday was it?" Or, 3 months ago, if anybody walked into a store or anywhere with a mask on, you'd be like some sort of like bandana mask or something. You'd be like, "Whoa, hold on, what are you doing in here?" And like everybody would be like, "Ah, hands up, whatever." And now it's just the normal. Um, Somebody I was talking to asked if the um asked if or this she said they went to the bank and ask the bankers, "Hey, have you ever thought about like, do you guys get nervous because everybody's coming in here with a mask on, and like somebody could rob you or something like that?" And the banker was like, "No, haven't thought about that." So that's super weird, right? Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's a very very strange life that we're living right now. Speaking of birthdays and drive-ins and all that, I used to get heartburn whenever I ate birthday cake until the doctor told me to take the candles off first. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. I always forget to pull up my laugh track on this one. But there it is. Man, did you guys hear about the Italian chef who recently passed? Who recently died? He passed away. Pasta. He passed away. Somebody told me that his wife found out he was cheating after she found the letters he was hiding, and now she refuses to play Scrabble with him. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming out. Yep. How did the Rocket lose his job? How did the Rocket lose his job? He was fired. I'm so sorry. Why did the wife divorce the baker? Because she was too needy. Or he was too needy. Get it? This is like, what do you get when you cross the Atlantic with the Titanic? About halfway. Okay, you guys gotta admit that one was pretty good. That one was pretty funny. Speaking of which, my brother Jovan has been doing a series of crossing animals. He's been asking people to send him an animal, and then he's been drawing like crossbreeds of the two of them, which is ironic because his name is Cross. But he's come up with some pretty cool designs. So if you follow him on his Instagram, which is jragon.design. It's like dragon, but instead of a D, it's a J. Dragon Designs. And you can see some of his creations on there. They're pretty cool. My favorite so far is a sloth and an octopus, which he no, no, it's a octopus and a naked mole rat, which he calls a naked molopus or something like that. So check that out. All right, thank you for coming out, everybody, and have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow in quarantine for another episode of Today in Quarantine. Stay safe, stay inside, and we'll see you later.